Welcome, everybody, to Pork and Reviews. I'm your host, Pork. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about A Quiet Place Part 2. Just came back from the movies last night to see this. I want to talk to you guys a bit about the film, my experience at the movie theater, of course. Just to get things started, for those of you who don't know, the movie takes place almost immediately after the events of Part 1. There is a bit of like an intro that kind of shows the events that lead up to this monster invasion. Uh, that sequence is, really cool. I used to talk a bit about the film itself first. The film I felt was really, really well made. It was really, really well done. The story with the story they really raised the stakes a little bit here. I feel like this movie was a lot more tense than the first one, and it probably has a lot to do with now we're looking at like the absence of like the father's character. So you kind of get this sense of like what are these other what is the family gonna do now, right? Um, so I feel the way just everything just feels like just something bad is constantly around the corner. And I'm not to say the first one wasn't like that, especially once in the first movie after the intro where they show the loss of their son. They that's where like the movie kind of shifts. Like we know what the characters are up against. Um, but with this movie, you know, we we see the aftermath of these conflicts with these creatures, and even though now the characters kind of have this weapon to use against them, it doesn't change the fact that these creatures are still an extreme threat to the characters in the movie, and this kind of like danger constantly lurking around. It really sells it, and what I appreciate about this movie is now you no longer have the father's character, and the kind of the movie shifts to the focus being the person kind of driving the action. So I know like Emily Blunt's like top bill. However, the main character of this movie is 100% Melissa Simmons, who plays Reagan Abbott. She's the daughter of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt's character. She's the one that really moves this plot forward. She, kind of like is trying to fill this void that's left in the absence of the father now. And I mean, it's immediate. I mean, you have to understand these people are in like survival mode, and I feel like they make that very known in this movie, just with some of these subtle actions. I don't want to give any like spoilers, but like just the subtle actions of some of these characters, it's very clear that they kind of know what they're up against and the type of world that they're in, and these, you know, they have to move on, right? This isn't a world that allows you to sit down and really like mourn your losses. It does, it's a world that it's a world where you if you sit down and you lose focus on anything else but surviving, on anything else but what you're supposed to do to keep you and or your family safe. Like it's a world where you're gonna get killed. So we show, we see some of the actions these characters take, and from a general audience perspective, you're gonna sit there and you know, kind of feel you're gonna feel a certain way about it, um, because you are attached, to characters. You are attached to this family unit, and just trying to understand like where the motivations are. It's gonna seem sometimes a little foreign to the regular viewers, because guess what? You're not in a situation where you're trying to survive on a day to day basis. you know. So the movie itself, the story itself, fantastic, fantastic. I thought it was a worthy sequel. It's it's like is it as good, or is it better than the first movie? You know, I it's always like easy to say like the first one's, well, the first one sets it up. All right, of course the first one's going to be better. The first one sets everything up. The first one sets the world up, right? But it's hard to just sit here and say that like one movie is better than the other, or is this a worthy sequel? 100%, 100%. I mean, it carries the spirit of the first movie. It creates it keeps a lot of the same themes, and keeps a lot keeps a lot of the same atmosphere. Uh, and in that regard, it's a great sequel. Um, could it stand alone on its own? Nah, I feel like you're gonna have to see the first one to really understand what's going on. So make sure you see the first one before you see this movie. One thing I have to talk about is just kind of like, a bit of the technical stuff here. I thought the sound was amazing. The previous movie was nominated for an Academy Award for its sound editing. I can't imagine this movie not being nominated for sound editing. I mean, this is a movie that was meant to be watched in the best possible sound format that your theater has available. When we saw it, it was at AMC Dolby Cinema, and Dolby Cinemas have Atmos, so they have the height speakers, and I mean it's a totally different experience. To see this movie in like a premium, formatted cinema, because it's just tailor made for it. I mean, this is a movie that you have to see in movie theaters. Um, the sound is so immersive. Just the regular ambient sounds of the world around, the cicadas in the background and birds, and those type of sounds mixed with even the smallest amount of noise coming from our characters here just creates this anxiety amongst the audience while they're watching it, because every sound just seems so amplified, even like the rustling of clothes and the pad small little sound thuds of footsteps. Everything just sounds so much louder in this backdrop. Marco Beltrami's score is fantastic. It just really keeps the tension up. Really ramps it up really hard. There's this fantastic shot too in the beginning of that this background intro with Emily Blunt's character in a vehicle, and it's a total homage to Children of Men, with this really long shot, really long one shot sequence where she's like in a vehicle moving, and then she has to back up, and all this chaos is happening, and it's a great shot. Doesn't overstay its welcome that sometimes those like long shots become gimmicky to a point. So it's a really great movie. I highly recommend it. If I had to give it a star rating, I'd probably give it like a 3.5. I mean, it is that good. It's that good. It's a movie that must be experienced in the movie theaters if you're able to go to the movie theaters. I strongly recommend going to the cinema to see this movie. It's such a big film. Even I don't know. It's the weirdest thing because it's such a big. It's so epic. You got this wonderful sound design, and yet it's like a really really quiet movie at the same time. Um, but it creates this immersive world around you, and the tension is so thick you can like just cut it with a knife. It's one of those movies that you leave out and you're a little stressed out afterwards. So I really recommend this movie. Go see it in the theaters. You know theaters are opening back up. We had a great experience. I know the washrooms were crap, but they're always crap. What else are you gonna do? But go see this movie. I highly recommend it. A Quiet Place Part 2. If they're bringing any sequels, I'm game. Let's do it. But anyway, if you like this video, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. I have more content coming your way. Once again, my name is Pork. Thank you for watching. God bless.